Hey, friends. Welcome back to Crusade with me. Today's not just any episode, it's personal. Because today, I turned 60 years old. Today is my birthday. And maybe that number doesn't feel big to you. But to me, it's a marker. It's a signpost. It's a moment that invites a deep breath. I mean, this entire podcast is because of today, right? You know, well over a year ago, my love, I made a vow to myself, right? Mm-hmm. And what was that vow?
You're going to be in the best shape of your life by today.
By today, yeah. And that's the beauty of setting goals.
Yes.
You can miss the mark. You can fail miserably. I sure as hell, I'm certainly not in the best shape of my life. However, I'm certainly further down the road than I have been in a long while.
Yes.
And so that's what today's about. And so we're taking a sabbatical.
Yes, we are.
And this will be the last episode for this week. And again, dropping masks and being fully transparent. Everybody understands that we do these consecutively. We do all of our episodes in a day or two.
Yeah.
And they're recorded, and then we just drop them. I just schedule them when they drop.
Right.
To hit the streaming platforms. And so today is actually Sunday. Mm-hmm. It is May 18th, 2025. And this will be dropping tomorrow because we will be boarding an airplane.
Yes, we will.
And my queen has arranged we will be flying to Key West. Which is a place I've really wanted to go for a long time, and we have not. And it was actually when you kind of took charge.
And I don't do that often.
And you do not do that often. You're quite submissive. Mm-hmm. Never mind.
Yeah. I almost called stop. But I thought maybe you were pondering a great thought. And
no,
I'm like,
I really was.
Let you go a little
longer. I really was.
No, stop. Well, we talked about, I always thought it would be great to go on your birthday or leave on your birthday. And then, with Jiffy Pop and all that, it was just like, oh no, I hate to go while he's actually in the hospital. So we kind of looked at some other dates, and then it got pushed back to the fall. And Florida has not been kind to us in the fall.
You're right.
So I finally said to you, and then the summer has really started booking up because of grandkids and horse shows and this and that and everything. And so finally I text you one day and I said, look, things are getting busy. And I knew some things were coming down the pike for you because of your wonderful radio voice. People want you. You're getting booked for other things that you didn't even know about. So I knew that was coming up. And I assumed you would say yes, which I need to add that to my resume as your manager. I need to write that. I need to write that down. I don't even have a resume, but I'm going to add that. Anyways, so things were the schedule was already looking really, really full. So I texted you one day and I said, look, I'm going to book this. I'd like to book this. let's just go the week of your birthday. Ask your boss, can you have that week off? And you said, I'll talk to him the next day.
Well, we were going to have dinner that night because we were both traveling together.
And so you text me bright and early the next morning and you said, or okay, that evening, and you didn't even call me. You just said, book it.
Book it, Dano.
Book it, Dano. And I did.
Right.
And we are where we are. And we are going to be on a plane tomorrow heading to warm weather.
And it has been warm here, but it's
going to be cold.
It's turned cold again. Yeah. So, and I'm not a hot weather guy. I'm really not.
And you're not a beach person either.
But
when we went last year, when one of my brothers and his lovely wife took us and my mom, they have like a
timeshare,
like kind of like a timeshare thing, a condo down in Pensacola.
On the beach.
And it's right on the beach. So you just walk out and you walk to the beach. I mean, it's right there.
Yes.
Like steps. And you loved that.
Two beaches.
Yeah.
The Bayside, right. Which is where the condo's at. Or you could just walk around the front of the condo, across the street, and you're on the Gulf side.
Right.
It is cool as all get out. I mean, we had a blast. But in fact, I have a tattoo to memorialize that trip, right?
Right.
And I'll never do that again.
Yeah. But you, and you now became a beach person. If you are right on the water, you're fine with that now. So, yep. So
we're doing it.
We're doing it.
And this episode is about, look, well, we're doing something different, right? We're going on a trip, a real vacation, to a place we've always wanted to visit, but we never have.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? This episode is about the fact that I've really wrestled with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it's been a while since it's been a vacation for just
you
me
and
and you.
Yes.
I mean, we went last year, but we had Mom and.
Right. And I was wrestling with it. Is this selfish? Should I be doing more? Is this wasteful? All that.
Yeah.
And the question that really settled in my soul was this. Is it okay to just be? And that's what this episode is about. So I am very grateful, and I'm so glad that we're going on this trip.
Mm-hmm.
But what I really want for my birthday.
Yes. I didn't get you anything.
We're going on a trip to
I know.
Key West.
I didn't get you a present.
I don't care. I don't want one. Here's my present.
Uh-huh.
I want you to sing happy birthday to me the way Marilyn Monroe sang happy birthday to JFK.
It's always something
That's
with
what
you.
I want.
It's always something. It's never enough.
No, hey, look. For most of my life, I thought energy came from motion, right? That's how you get energized, right? You do this, you do that. From striving, from pushing forward, and from even from struggle, right? You get energized from. But I've been kind of reevaluating, and I'm like learning something new, probably, which is a good thing. My boss, who's significantly younger than me, he's saying it to try to boast or uplift me, right? And he says so many times, you are so different than your generation because you are so open and you really can teach an old dog new tricks.
There's a compliment in there. I hear it.
And I take that as such. I do.
Yeah.
And I know he's relating that to how deep I've been diving into this AI and, and I'm pretty open. And I am. But something that feels almost upside down, sometimes the greatest strength is found in letting go.
Mm-hmm. That's hard sometimes.
Yeah. And so it's not giving up, letting go. Like a leaf floating on a river. Not directionless, but carried.
Mm-hmm.
Scripture speaks to this too. In Psalm 23, David wrote, He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. That's not a warrior charging into battle.
Mm-hmm.
That's a shepherd guiding a soul back to stillness. So it's made me think. So sometimes the bravest thing we can do is stop trying to force life to bend to our will. And instead, allow ourselves to flow with the rhythm God has already set in motion. So, I want to be real clear. Yeah, today's my birthday. I turned 60. I'm not hung up on the number thing. Mm-hmm. I'm really not. I think my eldest grandson is probably more than...
Well, he's like got a final countdown for you.
Oh, man, you only got 15 more years and you're going to be dead. Statistics, Google tells me, Papa, that... Anyway, I want to be clear. So turning 60 made me pause. Not about the age. Mm-hmm. And maybe number one grandson made this ball start twirling around in my head, the marble rolling. So not just to look back, but the 60th, we talk about, you called it what do you call that?
A golden,
no. Anyway, it's a specific, it's a number, but it's a kind of, not an important, well, I guess it's an important number or whatever you call it, but it's recognizing, I'm going to use a term, and I should have looked this up to get a better definition. But recognizing something sacred.
A milestone.
A milestone. Thank you. Yes, it's a milestone birthday, right? What's your milestone birthdays? Well, 16 is a milestone. Well, probably 13 is a milestone, then 16, and then 18, and then 21, and then
you're 30,
40, 50, 60. Yeah. So, made me think, we are not machines on a deadline.
Right.
We are living souls moving through seasons.
Yeah.
And seasons deserve to be marked.
Yeah.
Not just with candles and cake, but with awareness. In Ecclesiastes, my guy writes, there is a time for everything, a season for every activity under the heavens, to rest, to celebrate, to grieve, to release. So a milestone is a sacred pause. It says, this is where I am. This is who I've become. And by God's grace, I'm still becoming.
Mm.
It's not indulgence to honor that. It's faithfulness. So here's something I've learned. I hope it speaks to you. Hear me out. 3 points. Not every space has to be filled. Not every silence must be broken. Not every day needs to be packed with doing. Jesus himself often withdrew to quiet places. He stepped back, not in weakness, but in wisdom. In Mark 6, verse 31, he said to his disciples, "Come with me by yourselves to a quiet place so that we can rest." So it's made me start to think. I have to shift it's a paradigm shift, for lack of a better term. What if energy doesn't just come from activity,
Right.
but from emptiness, from space, from that deep, sacred stillness where God whispers? That's what this trip is about for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about escape. It's alignment.
Mm-hmm.
Now, maybe you're like me, right? A lot of people out there, you're used to carrying the load, being the strong one, right? Right, the reliable one, the one who keeps it all going. It's my job, right?
I said that in the last podcast. I rely on you heavily when we are out and about. And
Yeah,
yeah.
as you should. That's my role. So stepping back feels wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I felt guilty about that, lazy even. But friends, there is a difference between letting go and letting down.
Mm-hmm.
Letting down is giving up responsibility. Letting go is surrendering control. And Scripture tells us clearly, in returning and rest, you shall be saved. In quietness and in trust shall be your strength. In Isaiah 30, verse 15. And I love that. Quietness and trust. It's not that God needs us to do less. It's that he wants to teach us to flow with him, not ahead of him. So this season of life, my 60th year, feels like it's calling me to a new rhythm. Less noise, more depth, less striving, more trust, less pushing, more peace. And with your help, my love, I'm learning to pay attention. To watch for when the Spirit moves and when he is still. Jesus told his disciples in John 16, when the Spirit of truth comes, he will guide you into all truth. Not shoved, not dragged, guided. And to be guided, I need to be still enough to notice. So that's what this birthday celebration is about, right? I just so we're going on a week-long sabbatical, and I can't wait. And I don't know how quiet we will be. I plan on doing a lot of things.
Yeah.
There's so many things I want to do while we're there.
Yeah.
I shared with my brother-in-law, one of my brother-in-laws and my sister-in-law yesterday. I want to investigate and do a study on what is at the bottom of most bottles of rum. And I think I said, I'm kind of a data guy, and I know the more data points I have, the more accurate my hypothesis would be. So that's one thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. And just quickly, I want to give a shout out to our daughter who's coming to stay with my mother. So very appreciative to her for leaving her responsibilities behind.
She's bringing Ribeye with her too. Ribeye is the man.
Yeah, he is in fact, I've left some ideas for him he's a workhorse.
Yes, he is.
And he loves to be helpful. So I've left a little to-do list for him to help Amma get some things that she's been needing to get done that I didn't get done over Mother's Day for her because we went to Home Depot, and I guess everybody went to Home Depot on Mother's Day.
I know. I was shocked. I was like...
Yeah. So...
And you know why I do a podcast and why this is, being honest, our circle is small.
Yes.
Now, the podcast makes the circle's growing pretty large.
Yes, yes, it is.
But this sounds terrible for somebody whose title is pastor sometimes, or most of the time. I really don't like people.
We're going someplace where there's going to be a lot of
people. I know, but I can block them out. I'm just looking forward to you and I. Oh. Just you and I.
Dally and Kenny.
Was that?
Oh, no. I was thinking Islands in the Stream.
Yeah,
no. That was Dally and Kenny.
Yeah.
That was Lee Greenwood and...
Just you and I? I have no idea.
And Marie Osmond, maybe?
You're better at that stuff than I am.
I don't know.
Oh, just for reference back, I sang something about... What song did I sing? Something about morning.
Oh, What a Beautiful Morning.
Oh, What a Beautiful Morning. And you were correct. It was from the play Oklahoma.
It was. Yeah.
Just for reference, I was wrong. Actually, I didn't know where it was from, but
Yeah,
I
you-
really
yeah,
didn't
you
think that
didn't
it was
think I was-
Oklahoma.
Yeah, you didn't think it
That
was
doesn't
that.
even make sense. I can't believe that, but it was.
Yeah. And let me bring up too, speaking of Mother's Day, we got a video from my daughter who was hanging out with her friends, who are also now our quasi friends, because I think her friend, let me just give a shout out to Tanya.
Is that the way you pronounce it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
You pronounce it wrong all the time. Anyways, I think I'm going to now designate Tanya as our number one listener, and I'm gonna send her out a Crusade with Me T-shirt.
Good.
Because on Mother's Day, our daughter sent us a video of it was Tanya and her mom, and of course Tanya's husband Jim, who is our granddaughter's horse trainer.
Jim's my guy. I like Jim.
yeah.
Jim's a good guy.
Yeah, we spent last weekend with them
Yeah.
at a horse show. Anyways,
We went out for dinner, had a great
we went
dinner.
yes. So anyways, but we've gotten several videos, but it was just sweet on Mother's Day to see Tanya and her mom. And Tanya, every time the opening comes on,
The music.
Tanya is fist pumping, and we just love to see that. So
Yes.
I'm just, since we've seen several of those, I'm going to self-designate Tanya as our number one listener.
Man, Mrs. G is probably going to be upset.
Okay, yeah.
Because you also
probably,
you also said that she was, and I'm like, wow. Okay.
And of course, Ribeye wants a T-shirt too, so I'm gonna go bankrupt.
You know what
here.
I love about Ribeye, and I just cannot figure this out for the life of me. He's kind of a player. How did he become a player
know.
like that with the women's?
I know. We saw a picture of him last night at a
Little Texas
concert. He's got one arm around Tanya and one arm around her mom.
Yeah.
And he's got his cowboy hat on and his vest, and he's just he likes the older women.
Well, he knows the buckle bunnies ain't nothing but problems. Anyway.
Anyways, we digress.
I know. But that's it. It's my birthday. And that was honestly this. So this is our final episode. We're done. No, I'm looking. Missed the mark, made nothing.
That's not true.
Podcast has given us a lot. All right. I thoroughly enjoy sitting here with you. We just chat, right? We just chat and think and talk.
Yeah.
And that's being real, because you brought that up, and I'm glad you did. That's being real, because this is what you and I talk about on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff we just talk about. Now, there's some things I would really love to do on the podcast to talk about, but you don't want to. But and I want to really, one of my goals is to really add to that list of stuff that you won't talk about on the podcast over this week. But
would you stop? Sincerely, just stop.
All right. So that's it. That's my final thoughts. Do you have any?
Oh, I do. One thing I was going to say, I have two final thoughts. One, I was going to say that, is that it's hard to give to others when your glass is empty, even if it's a quarter of the way full. So it's good to take time to ourselves,
right?
So that we can.
Because you and I have had this conversation, and we have screwed up thinking. When I say we, not you, I'm just talking about me, really. And I'm sure I'm not alone. I'm sure there's a world of people out there in the West and in this country specifically. We are so driven by achievement and by measures and metrics and goals and all this stuff. And it's especially in business. It's all needed. It's all required. And I praise be to God that I am at such a point in a place in my life that I am surrounded by such, and this is partly due to my boss and a lot of me too. I'll actually break my arm, pat
Very
myself on the
good,
back.
because you don't normally do that. So good for you.
I've got a team now I absolutely trust.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mind stepping away.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Twofold. One is I haven't been making a lot of calls. When I say making calls, the team has gotten to the point where they come to me and say, this is the problem and this is what I'm doing. And I say, okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know what I'm saying? It's not, here's the problem and I don't know what to do. They don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a huge step in my comfort level to step away, right? And it's been, I don't know if I've ever felt that way going on vacation from work
Mm-hmm.
until now.
Mm-hmm.
And that says something because I've only been taking vacations, and I know I only take one or two a year, but I mean, I've been doing this for over, it's almost 40 years, right?
Yep.
And so that's one thing that I'm not forcing. I'm just going with the current.
Mm-hmm.
And I struggled with this, as you know, and I was concerned about, should I be doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Should we be doing this
Mm-hmm.
with a lot of the things that you already mentioned? So that's what was the point of this, was to say, I got to talk myself into being okay with it. No, maybe, but the truth of the matter is, I've come to grow with a little peace that this is okay,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not only okay, but it's freaking needed.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can be in our resort, and there will be nobody around, so we can be naked.
Would you stop? We are not going to a naked resort.
I meant in our room, honey. I'm not talking about.
Well, I never know with you what you got cooking in your head.
Okay, so that's it.
So, all right. Well, then everybody can just plug their ears. But I guess I'll give you your last request.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, my king. Happy birthday to you.
Wow, that was nice. That was very nice.
That's it. That's how the deaf girl sings.
You hit all the marks. You did beautiful. I was looking for something and couldn't find it, so.
Oh. Crickets or
No.
laughter or oh.
That's what I was looking for. My eyes are bad. Thank you so much. That was very nice.
It didn't sound anything like Marilyn.
Sure it did. So, yeah. Today it's my birthday, and we're going to take this trip, and not as an escape, but as a return. To gratitude, to simplicity, to joy. We're not wasting time, we're honoring it. Because life isn't meant to be chased, it's meant to be lived. In rhythm with the one who gives it. So if you're coming up on a milestone, or if your soul just feels tired, let it be enough to stop, to breathe, to listen, to rest. Let God refill you, not with more things to do, but with the peace that passes all understanding. So, thank you for walking with us. Thank you for crusading with me. And we'll come back from this trip with more to share. But for now, let's remember, sometimes the holiest thing you can do is be where you are and trust that it's exactly where God wants you.